Hello, this is Cyberdragon. Today I'm going to talk about Taxing Investing 101, the basic what you must know. It's going to be a 7-part training video. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for upcoming videos on how to make money in a variety of ways, from affiliate marketing, investing, and cashback, rebates, and stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to play the video. I'll be silent for the
Hi everyone, Tony Martinez here, co-founder of the United States Tax Lien Association, and I'd like to welcome you to our Accelerated Tax Lien Certificate Investment Mini Course. I'm sitting here with my business partner, Mr. Sean Higgins.
How's everyone doing?
He's been my business partner now for over 20 years, and we'll be team teaching this entire series with you. And I want to congratulate you, first of all, for enrolling for this course, and I want you to know that you made a great decision by deciding to enroll for this mini course. And I promise you, you are going to gain a wealth of information over the next 7 days. And I want you to know exactly how this course works. So for the next 7 days, every day, you're going to receive a brand new video training module from us, and you'll be watching it just like you're watching this one right now. Today's training module is all about the basic fundamentals.
Foundation.
Yeah, it's Tax Lien Certificates 101, if you will. Well, we're going to spend most of our time today speaking to you about terminology, speaking to you about definitions, so that you have a solid understanding.
What to expect.
Right. And then what we'll do, starting in Module 2, is we'll actually start getting into the actual tax lien certificate investment process. Before we get started, though, we want to give you a little bit of background information about how long we've been in business and how we got started in the industry. Sean and I have actually known each other now for over 24 years. We met as young stockbrokers. After our stock brokerage years.
We were like 12.
Yeah, something like that, 14, something.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah. And after our stock brokerage years, Sean moved on and went on to work for one of the largest life insurance companies in the world, New York Life Insurance. And I moved on and started working for a real estate investment company part-time. And I guess it's kind of history from there. I made my first tax lien certificate investment back in 1991.
I made my first tax lien investment a few years after that, 2 years after that, and it was for, yours was for $260. $260, and mine was for $54.
So if you look at, we got started in this industry with $300, and if you fast forward 2 short years after that, we had already generated $543,000 in revenue, and that's revenue specifically and only from our tax lien certificate and tax deed transactions.
Well, what's important to understand this too, Tony, for the people watching right now, is we didn't miraculously take, well, let's just call it $300 for this conversation. We didn't take $300 and in 2 years turn it into $500,000. There was a process that we went through to get that with tax lien certificates, which we're going to explain later on in the sequences that you're going to be enjoying over the next 7 days.
So now it's 20 years later, and we've completed over 2,000 profitable tax lien certificate and tax deed transactions, and those transactions are for our own portfolio. These are not investments for other people. These are not investments for other companies. These are actual
for us
transactions that we completed for our own portfolio.
And we're still doing them today.
Exactly. We are active in the marketplace, and that's the background that we train from. It's the expert background that we bring to the table. Is from these transactions is how we teach you.
Well, another thing that the viewers need to ask themselves, if they're out there seeking tax lien education or how to, which is why you're watching this, anybody you go to out there, you've got to ask yourself, are they passively doing this or are they actually doing this?
Right.
And can they verify that they've done thousands of transactions? How long have they been doing it? And are they currently doing it? Because really, if they haven't, how can you truly trust their information?
Right. I would take it as far as to say this. I wouldn't trust anybody's information in the marketplace unless you could absolutely verify that they've done a couple of thousand transactions and that they are still currently actively investing for their own portfolios. And both of those we can do. And as a matter of fact, in future videos, we're going to actually show you our actual recorded documentation of the types of transactions that we've done and are still currently doing today. And so with that, what we want to talk about is that is how we train. That's the expertise that we use to train you, is from our everyday experience.
Well, and another thing that I think is important to understand is the amount of training we have given people in tax lien certificates. Just so we're clear on this, nobody has trained more people face-to-face live than Tony and myself. And we're not just talking about in the United States, we're not just talking about Canada, we're talking worldwide. We have taught more people face-to-face in everywhere in the planet: Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Egypt, Africa, London,
Mexico, Puerto Rico,
Panama,
United Kingdom,
Texas. Texas is a country by themselves. So
well, they think they are.
They think they are, and now we're going to get a bunch of emails from people saying, but we are, and that's okay. We've got a special little treat for you on tax liens and deeds in Texas.
Yeah, so our point is if you look at other people who claim to be experts in the tax lien certificate market, here's what we know for a fact, and you'll be able to verify with just a little bit of research, is no one's been training other people on how to invest in tax liens successfully longer than we have.
No.
And the ones who have been training, or who do train on investing in tax liens, they have never completed over 2,000 transactions for their own portfolio, and the vast majority who I know don't even invest in tax lien certificates today.
Yeah.
And so we want to
be clear.
Be clear. Yeah, we want to be explicit about that. It's not that we're patting ourselves on the back. It's that we're telling you a factual piece of information about what you're going to learn in this video series.
And another thing, Tony, is I think that that's going to show up.
Yeah.
Throughout this series, you're going to see this, and you're going to see the information that we're giving you, and you're going to love it.
Yeah. So we're going to jump right into the information. We'll give you more background information as we go throughout the series as well. We just wanted to give you a little bit of it for right now. We'll continue to give you more background information and documentation
as it's relevant.
As it's relevant over the next 7 days as well. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
So let's talk about this for a minute. What exactly is a tax lien certificate?
Right.
Very simple. A tax lien certificate is a first position lien on a property due to delinquent property taxes. See, what happens is this: in over 2,000 jurisdictions across the United States, once a property owner becomes 1 year delinquent on the property taxes, the county government is going to hold a sale. Now back up for a minute. Do people fail to pay their property taxes from time to time? It happens all the time. Right now, the counties need this money more than ever before. What are they using this money for? Well, number one, probably 50 to 55% of this money goes towards schools, and then you've got fire department, police departments, parks and recs, and everything else. So the county says, hey, we need this money, so what we're going to do is offer it to you and I. You and I put up the money. Now back up. You are not buying somebody's property. Let me reiterate that. You're not buying somebody's property. In fact, you're not going to be dealing with the property owner at all. You're going to be dealing with the county, and they will do about 90% of the work for you. Now, in return for putting up that money to the county, they're going to go ahead and turn around and give you the interest rate that they were receiving for the person being late. In some places, it's as low as 16%, and some places as high as 36%, and everywhere in between. Now, if the property owner fails to come in within a pre-prescribed amount of time, and that's going to vary from market to market.
Yeah, well, they call it it's a grace period. It's called the redemption period.
Right. And that redemption period can be anywhere from, well, we've seen as little as 6 months on the low side, up to 3 years on the high side, again, depending on the municipality. If the person doesn't come to the county, they don't owe you the money, they owe the county the money. If they don't come into the county to pay those delinquent taxes, you have the right, by law, to go ahead and commence foreclosure on the property, and then the property becomes yours. And this is the very important thing. This process, this legal process, this statute process, once you complete it, you will own the property free and clear of all liens and encumbrances, eliminating everything, including a mortgage.
So I mean, so just to wrap up, so let's get it clear. When you acquire a tax lien certificate on a property,
only two things that can happen.
Yeah, there's one or two things can happen. One, the property owner pays off their back taxes, and you get all of your money back plus, let's say, 18% interest. The property owner does not pay off the back taxes, then you can foreclose on the property, take title to the property for the price of the back taxes, penalties, and fees only. So there's only those two options. And let's talk about safety. Well, actually, I want to talk about how the interest rates work. The way tax lien certificates work, they work exactly like a bank CD. And what that means is they are not variable interest rates, they are fixed interest rates. Once you make the investment, you are locked in at that interest rate, and nothing can affect your yield or your principal. So exactly like a bank CD, let's say you were making an investment in a county that offers 24% interest for their tax lien certificates. Once you make that investment, you're locked in at the 24% interest rate.
Nothing can change that. I don't care what happens with the stock market, the bond market, foreign market, who gets elected president, what happens with the monetary policies of Greece or whatever the case is, you're locked in.
Right. So it's, again, it would be like going down to your bank and placing money in the bank and having the savings account pay you 24% interest per year. It would be like that.
We live in reality, yeah. And also, here's the other thing, there is no limit.
Right.
You can invest $10, you can invest $10,000, you can invest $10 million. There is no limit, unlike a bank that is insured by the FDIC up to $250,000 per account.
So it actually provides you a higher degree of safety than even a bank can provide you, because there is no limit on how much is protected.
And another thing that you need to understand is this is not some get-rich-quick, fly-by-night, here-to-get-day on tomorrow strategy. This has been available in the United States for over 200 years. In fact, Tony and I found documentation. One of the oldest liens we found was dated 1698. That's 100 years before we officially even became a country. Thomas Jefferson, our third president, came 2 weeks away from losing Monticello to delinquent property taxes. The only reason he didn't was because the second president, Adams, lent him the money to do this. This has got a tremendous amount of case law and history, to be honest.
Right, exactly. And that's what we want you guys to understand, is who regulates investing in tax lien certificates? It's state law. Everything that we're discussing with you right now is actually written into the law. So if you're getting paid 24% interest, it's because that 24% interest rate is written into the law. The law dictates how much you're going to get paid. The law dictates that your investment is protected for an unlimited amount of money. The law dictates that you can take the property free and clear with no mortgage on it. So it's the law that's protecting you, again, giving you the highest degree of safety possible in an investment.
Absolutely. You know, and I mean, if you want to continue with some of the comparisons out there, you know, people talk about, well, this is such a great investment, why aren't more people doing this?
Right.
There's two reasons. First of all, you didn't know about it, and the people that do kind of know about it know enough to make them, you know, dangerous. You know, but think about this: why isn't Wall Street doing this? Why isn't your stockbroker telling you about this? And the fact of the matter is, the truth is one statement. Commissions.
Right.
You can't charge commissions on it. Imagine going down to Wall Street and going to Goldman Sachs. There's a big one right now. Going down there and saying, hey, you know, you're the manager. Monday morning you march in there and you say to all the brokers, we've got a new product out there. It's going to offer our clients 18% and higher, guaranteed. And by the way, every once in a while they're going to get valuable properties for pennies on the dollar. But the only challenge is there's no commission. Okay, it's just not going to happen. That would be financial suicide for the bank. Or imagine your real estate agent saying, you know, here's a house right over here for $250,000. I don't know if you know it, but there's one right around the corner that went for a tax deed sale, and they only paid $15,000 for it. Again, financial suicide is not going to happen.
They wouldn't do it because they can't get paid a commission on it. So the number one reason, again, financial planners, financial advisors, banks, stockbrokers, any financial institution can offer you a tax lien certificate. The challenge is they won't get paid any money. So they would be doing the best thing they can for their clients, and they would be committing financial suicide for themselves. So that's why you will never see stockbrokers, financial planners, or financial advisors offering tax lien certificates. They simply can't get paid to do it.
Absolutely. And the other side of this is you're saying, oh, this sounds fantastic. You know, I win, the county gets their much needed revenue, and then we talk about the property owner. This is actually a triple win investment. The property owner is benefiting here. And some of you are stopping and go, well, wait, how are they benefiting?
Right.
Well, first of all, you are not causing anything to happen to buy the tax lien certificates. They're already late. They're already late. They owe the money to the county, and by the state statute says that they've got to pay their taxes plus a penalty. All you're doing is giving the money to the county so that the county can use that money to run the county schools, roads, bridges, and fire department. But think about it. What if you and I were not there to put the money up? What choice and only choice would the county have if that was the situation? And that would be to take the property. So in reality, you are helping the property owner out. By you giving the money to the county allows the county to extend time to the property owner so they can go ahead and make this happen.
Well, because what you did, when you invested in a taxing certificate, in essence what you did, or exactly what you did, is you paid someone's delinquent property tax bill for them. So what you did is you came in, someone needed some help financially, you helped them out financially by putting up the money. In return, you received a tax lien certificate. Now, they still owe the money
to the county.
But what it did, as Sean just said, it bought them additional time till they can get back on their feet and come up with the money themselves.
Think about it, Tony. What other debt do you know that you can have out there where you can be late on it and the person you owe the money to goes, don't worry about it, we're going to give you some time. There's still a penalty, but we'll give you some time. I mean, stop making your car payment for a couple of months and that's not going to happen, your house payment or anything else out there. So in reality, it is a triple win. The property owner wins because you can extend them time to make this happen. The county wins because they get their much-needed revenue, and you win because you get the interest rate that the county would have had.
Right, and the thing about it is when you pay that person's delinquent tax bill for them, as you just mentioned, it's not like you just bought them 3 weeks. Sometimes you buy them a year, sometimes you buy them 2 years, sometimes you buy them 3 years. And here's what's really important: there's no negative effect in that 3-year period of time.
It doesn't go against their credit.
Exactly. If you don't pay your car payment for 2 months, it's going to hit your credit. If you don't make your house payment for 2 months, it's going to hit your credit. If you any bill for that matter, being late causes a negative effect. What we do is we help them out, buy them a year, 2 years, or 3 years without any negative effect whatsoever.
Well, think about this. Let's even go beyond that. The county benefits because without property taxes, plain and simple, the county would shut down.
Exactly.
This puts the fire departments, the police departments, and right now, our counties need this money more than ever before in our country's history.
Right.
So again, if you don't like where the money or how the money is being used, then you choose a different county. There is not another investment like that.
So here's a good way to put it. Tax lien certificates are a socially responsible investment vehicle because you're helping local communities all over the United States. You get to pick the communities that you want to help, and I actually made a list. As you mentioned before, because this is historically, 55% of your tax dollar goes directly to the school system, police departments, hospitals, fire departments, libraries, parks and recreation departments, roads. So again, if you look at all of that, 100% of your investment dollar goes directly to benefit local communities. And as you said, it's the purest
It really is.
investment vehicle out there because of the transparency of where your money goes, what it's benefiting, and who it benefits in the process.
Right. And all the way down the line, everybody's winning all the way down the line.
Great. So what we're going to wrap up with today is we want to talk to you about the 5 different ways you can acquire tax lien certificates. And one of the first ways is a live auction. And a live auction is just as you probably imagine it, where you show up, there's an auctioneer at the front of the room. Sometimes the auctioneer is just a county official. And
now wait, let me talk about this. It's not an auction like cattle or something. Where there's somebody up there going, going real fast. You don't understand, and we'll explain that in later videos.
Yeah. So there's a live auction process. And I want to make this clear up front. You do not have to go to a live auction to make a fortune invested in tax lien certificates. As a matter of fact, we haven't been to a live auction in over a decade for sure. And so we're going to show you ways on how to safely acquire tax lien certificates anywhere in the United States from anywhere in the world.
From anywhere in the world, yeah, absolutely.
The second way is online auctions. So again, it's an auction process similar to any other type of online auction you may have seen, similar to almost like eBay sometimes.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it is.
Yeah. And so there's online auctions is another way that you can invest in tax lien certificates, and that's right from the comfort of your own home. And you can also invest in tax lien certificates over the counter via the mail.
Yeah.
So really what you're going to be doing, and we're going to talk about this in a later video, is you're going to be sending a letter to the county. They're going to send you a catalog of their tax lien certificates in the mail. You're going to conduct due diligence on that list of tax lien certificates, And then what you're going to do is select the ones you want to invest in. You're going to mail them a check, and in return, they're going to mail you a tax lien certificate.
And we'll be going through that
again
on later videos.
And so just so that you know, you can invest in tax lien certificates over the counter via the mail.
Or live and in person, if that's what you want to do. There's a number of different ways.
Yeah.
And so some of those are sweet ways.
Yeah, so yeah, the over the counter you can actually do in person as well.
Yeah.
As Sean just said, you actually walk into the office, and some counties actually have catalogs that you can have access to. And you actually open up the catalogs and you select through the tax lien certificates, and you can acquire them that way. And then there's also over-the-counter, online over-the-counter. So it's a similar thing, right? So you're going online, you're looking at their catalogs online, you're selecting which tax lien certificates you have an interest in investing in, and you can either send them a check in the mail or you'll be purchasing them online. So those are the 5 major ways of how you'll be investing and acquiring tax lien certificates from anywhere in the world, right from your kitchen table.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I do want to bring up at this point, because we're talking about the county, we're talking about buying them online, we're talking about buying them in person. One of the things, I don't want anybody to get the impression you're going to a county website and they have a shopping cart there where you're just dumping liens in there. You know, we're talking about the county here. These people are overworked and underpaid, to be honest with you. Which brings up my next point, Tony. If you don't mind, I'm going to talk about contacting the county. This is not the time to be contacting the county. We're going to show you how to communicate with them and the right way to communicate with these people. It's not that these people are mean. It's simply they have other jobs. You need to understand the structure of a county. Believe it or not, the tax lien collection department, or the property tax collection for the people that didn't pay, is a very small department. Because in the grand scheme of things, there are thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of liens available every year, billions of dollars worth, but that represents a fraction of the properties out there. So if you were to rate a county on their ability to collect property taxes, they'd be rating pretty high. But that portion over there, obviously they have to allocate resources. And so when you're talking to that person at the county, there's a couple of challenges. First of all, they're not even allowed to make the investment in taxing because that's a conflict of interest. But my question is a bigger question. You know, we're going to show you how to do this. The last person you want to talk to is the person at the county that's handling the paperwork, that's not even able to do this process. The equivalent would be like...
Well, I mean, here's what I think is important. You need to understand how and why that person was hired. The county clerks that work in these departments, they're hired as administrative assistant staff. They're not hired as a tax lien certificate investment expert. They're the person behind the counter who can give you access to information. They're not hired, they're not hired as financial experts. They're not hired as investment experts. They're not hired as real estate experts. They're hired as administrative staff. So I think it's really, really important to understand that who you're dealing with at the county level.
Well, Tony, if you want to have a parable here, it'd be like walking into Goldman Sachs and talking to one of the file administrators in there and saying, I want to know about an investment. What do you think of the options? It just it wouldn't make any sense. So you won't do that, so don't do that at the county level. Yeah,
that's a fantastic analogy. That's a fantastic parallel, is to really think about it in that context. Is if you want financial expert advice, you talk to a financial expert. If you want tax lien investment advice, you talk to a tax lien certificate expert. You do not speak to administrative staff about expert investments.
And one of the challenges we've had with students when they're first getting into this, and before you get to the other series, they get excited about it, which I appreciate. But the problem is they jump the gun, and sometimes it's just purely a communication thing where you're using terminology that particular county may not even understand because it's used somewhere else, which actually is an advantage in this industry. One of the biggest advantages is every county does it a little differently, so it keeps a lot of wannabes out there. Unless you actually know what you're doing, you're going to hit some brick walls on that, and the county officials giving you information which they feel is correct, but you're asking a different question.
So what we wanted to do today is just give you guys some foundational knowledge about tax lien certificates, an overview and some definitions, and also give you some terminology about investing in tax liens. That way, on the next training video, we can walk you through the entire process and show you exactly how the entire process works.
Also give you a little background on us, who we are and why we're qualified to even be talking with you.
Exactly. So what we want you to do now is this, and this is how we're going to wrap up each training video is right below this video is a way for you to leave us a comment. And there's actually two comments that we'd like you to leave us. The first comment is we'd like you to leave a comment that says, what's the greatest takeaway that you got from this lesson today? What's the greatest aha moment? What information impacted you the most? Leave that comment.
And no matter how big or small it is, it doesn't need to be this deep, oh my goodness. It can be something as small as, wow, I didn't realize they've been around for 300 years. You know,
right.
or something as big as, I didn't realize these are available in that kind of volume. You know, so
right.
whatever it is, just write one little sentence. It's good.
Yeah, and then the second thing we want you to do is ask us a question.
Yeah.
So right now, based upon just this information that you've watched right now, what we want you to do is ask us this question. What's the number one question you have right now?
If you were sitting face to face with us, right across from us, what would you want to ask us at this point in the training?
Yeah, if you could ask us just one question right now, what would it be? And then post it right below this video. What that's going to do is this. It's going to do two things. It's going to open up a dialogue with us and all of the other students who are watching this right now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the most commonly asked questions and we're going to actually respond directly to them.
Right, and the great thing about this is just ask one question. You say, well, wait, Sean, I got 5 or 6. We're probably going to be answering those
right.
before we get done with the other modules on it. But here's the great thing about it. Other people are thinking the same thing as
right.
you are. Once we start going through all that, we'll see what's going on. You'll see how it's going to work. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful way to do this.
Okay, fantastic. So leave us a comment, and then we'll look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, where we're going to talk about exactly how the tax lien certificate investment process works. Have a good day.
Thank you.
If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video with everyone so they know about tax lien, the introduction, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Goodbye.